Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the Star Wars Month. And today for you guys is another review. Today we're tackling the video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, I have not 100%ed this entire game. However, I did finish the campaign. I took my time. I didn't want to rush through it. So if you're wondering, hey, why hasn't the review come out sooner? Of course, I did my first impressions video a little while back, and I loved it then. But this is the full review. Now, when I talk about the story, I'm going to do some spoilers. But what I'm going to do is kind of, I don't know how I'm going to handle it, but I'll do something about it, so I'll tell you when I talk about it. But essentially, we're going to start with the negatives first, and then we're going to go to the positives. So, again, after finishing the campaign, I did not finish all the hub worlds or the open world area of the game. But anyway, let's get on with it. So the first negative is, of course, the lag and the performance. Now, I have a standard PS4, I have the PS4 Vanilla, PS4 Slim, whatever you want to call it. But here's the thing, Jedi Fallen Order is a big game with a lot of things going into it, but it's not a huge game. It is not, GTA 5 or Skyrim or Just Cause 4 or No Man's Sky. Any big open world game, this is not it. I mean, it's a big game, but that's my query. It's like, why is this game, when you go on planets like Bogano and Dathomir and Zepho, there are some planets and some areas on the planets where it just lags for no reason. We're not even fighting an enemy. I'm just climbing a wall or running around with BD1, whatever, and it just lags to poop. I mean, it's not bad. It's not as bad as Just Cause 3, by any means. And the lag does go away. But I had to put it on there because certain times I'll be doing something like climbing or running, whatever, or just standing, and it'll just freaking lag for no reason, and then it'll go back. So that is a big issue. I do hope they patch it. But as of recording this, they have not patched it. So let's see. Next negative are the visual bugs and the clipping. I wrote a list here just so I wouldn't get all confused. So the visual bugs and the clipping. So essentially, when you're in the Stinger Mantis or when you're on a planet, certain times, certain weapons of the enemies, or certain enemies, or certain objects will start clipping through different other objects. And what else? Jeez, I mean, I don't know. I think when the Stinger Mantis landed, there were some weird things. It's not too huge. Again, most of the negatives in this game are not big. So I'm not being too harsh on the overall rating because, again, they're so minor and they're gone within 2 seconds, but they are there, so I had to tell you. Now, the visual bugs and clipping are not super bad, but certain cutscenes, the character's hair will look really staticky and strange. There was a shot earlier when I was finishing the end of the campaign toward the climactic boss area where they showed a Super Star Destroyer, and it was just gray. And then 4 seconds later, boom, all the detail went in. So there is a little bit of lag in the cutscenes, and like I said, visual glitches and all that. So a lot of it can take a little bit to render, which is weird, again, because it's not that big of a game. So I don't know, it is kind of strange. The pop-in. Now, pop-in is in a lot of games, right? Just Cause 4, No Man's Sky a little bit. Most big games have a fair degree of pop-in. It's not too huge. This game is not huge either, but I do have to tell you that it is a slight negative. I have been running around planets or even interiors where I was trying to figure out how to go somewhere, and I'm like, well, I remember climbing something, right, like these vines, and I'm making Cal jump, and he's just freaking, like in Uncharted when you jump and Nate's just like a moron. That's exactly what Cal was doing, and I'm like, I should be able to climb here, right? But then, of course, it popped in, and boom, there were the vines. So it took a second. But there are a few instances, like I said, where things pop in, and you're like, oh, that's where I'm going, or that's what happens, or that's the enemy, So it's not huge, but again, something I had to bring up. Now, of course, the last negative, this is probably the biggest one, Cal Kestis, the main character you play, the Jedi Padawan. He sometimes doesn't want to do what you tell him to do. Now, I'll be climbing, I'll be doing parkour and climbing, and he'll freaking jump off and die, right? And I'm like, what the hell, Cal? You know what I mean? I told you to jump. Or he'll just be running, and he'll just kind of fall off the side. I'm like, what the heck? It's not, again, none of these negatives are huge, and it's not a game breaker or anything like that. They are just very small negatives. But, again, they're over within a second normally. Nothing in this game has no freezing. I've never had a crash once through the entire campaign. It took me about maybe 6 or maybe 2 weeks, I'd say, roughly, to complete the campaign. Again, I take my time. I like to explore each area. So with that being said, again, nothing is too negative and bad here. But again, the lag, the visual bugs, the popping, and Cal sometimes not doing what I want him to do, just kind of mucking around and whatever. It can be a little strange, sometimes BD1 will want to do something, and it's like, oh, there's nothing to do, and then the pop-in, and you're like, oh, there it is. So again, I've had no game-breaking bugs, or no crashes, no any freezing, anything like that. Again, all the negatives are very, very small. However, like I said, they're still negatives. Now, on to the positives. I have a lot more positives. We have amazing graphics. Yes, the pop-in and the visual things are there. Yes, sometimes Cal's hair and the second sister and Mare and all these characters, their hair will look a little weird and staticky. If you played Just Cause 4, before they did this huge visual update overhaul, it kind of looked weird, like Rico's face is like cable TV when you get no signal. It's like, you know, like the static. And then you have Patrick going, I hate this channel. You know, that's exactly what it is. And their hair is really weird. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. But their hair is like, you know, the strands of their hair, and sometimes even like Grease, one of the, you know, the captain of the Stinger Mantis, that alien, his beard is really staticky. It's kind of weird. But other than that, the game looks flawless. I mean, the environments and the different planets, they have such variety to them, and they look amazing. The graphics in this game are stellar, and it is by far the best Star Wars game in terms of graphics. I think Star Wars Battlefront 1, 2015 by EA, looked amazing, but this one takes the cake because of all the different locations and the you know, lighting, visuals, and everything looks so great in this game. We have a great story. This is a big thing, but it is canon. So if you remember Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017, that campaign, that was canon as well. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was fine, but it is canon, and same with this game. It is 100% canon to the Skywalker saga and the overarching Star Wars, you know, thing that Disney's going on here, and it's great. I mean, the story in this is Battlefront 2 had an okay story, but this one, because of how long it was, you know, it felt longer to me than any Uncharted game or something like that. You know, normally when Force Unleashed, whenever you play a game just like a story game and that's it, no hub, no open world. This game does have a hub world's open world, but you know, the story in this was so long, and it was you know, you really do care about the characters, you know, because the story is so well written and so well told, and because they do callbacks to other canon like Night Sisters and the attack on Dathomir and Order 66 and all these things. But because it's handled so well, you don't look at it and go, oh, that's an Easter egg, it's lazy. You know, you go, oh, that's a really good callback, and it fits into the story. So again, the story in this game is well worth it. It was definitely the best campaign I've ever played in a Star Wars game. And I liked Battlefront 2, and I really liked The Force Unleashed 1 and 2, but this game takes the cake easily. It's so well told, and it really is like playing through a movie. I like to say that a lot, but it really is. You know, it's on caliber with The Last Jedi and Solo and Rogue One and Force Awakens, and really every Star Wars movie. You know, except for maybe 1 and 2. Those are just okay. But, you know, still, it is a really well-told story, and I really do enjoy it. So, if you want to get this game just for the story, and because it is canon, do pick it up, because it's really worth it. Next we have the voice acting is great, and so is the acting. Of course, Cameron Monaghan is Cal Kestis, who is on Shameless and Gotham. He was the 2 Joker dudes, and even though they're not called Joker, you get my drift. But again, he's fine. I don't really know that many other people besides Cameron Monaghan, but they all do a great job. Seer and Grease and the second sister and you know, all these other characters. You know, toward the end you meet a Night Sister and you know, a fallen Jedi, and all these people are so well voice acted. Again, sort of like Battlefront 2, everything fits into the grand scheme, and it looks really good in my opinion. I really do enjoy it. Voice acting, like I said, it can make or break something, and it makes it for sure. The fourth positive is that you get a sense of a broken or altered family. Throughout the course of this campaign, you start off Cal, and he's kind of meeting people, and who are you? You know, he's on the run, and then toward the end of the campaign, you feel like they have a real family, and that it could fit within the canon. So that is a really good thing in this game. We have the fifth thing, which is ties to the older canon. As I said, this is a small positive, but it has the ties to Order 66 and the Night Sisters and Dathomir and a few other names, which I won't name drop for spoilers. We have the combat, climbing, and the parkour. The combat in this game is very different. It is not Force Unleashed, it is not Lego Star Wars, it is not Battlefront. If you think this is Force Unleashed, you're going to die within 2 friggin' seconds. You need to think carefully. You need to analyze each attack pattern. Thankfully, every time you kill a new enemy, BD1 can scan it. It'll turn blue and then red, and then you can go into your pause menu, you go into your options, and then you can read about each enemy. So if you're like, how did I defeat that guy? You can always go back into your log and read about it, which is really nice. But again, the combat, you cannot rush into it. You need to be focused. Like a Jedi, you need to not go, you know, because you're going to die. You need to rush into things and go, okay, block, parry, force, pull, stab, you know, slow time, whatever it is. Everything in this game is amazing. The combat is by far the best combat I've probably seen in a third-person action game ever. And I really do like the Lego games. They're simplistic, but I like them. I like the Arkham style. I like Shadow of Mordor. There's not really a combat system I really hate, but this one takes the cake again because it's just so well-deserved. And, you know, a lot of people in the beginning were like, oh, this game's just a combat-focused game. But no, it's a lot of things. You know, there's skill trees, there's combat, there's open-world areas, there's a story, there's backtracking, there's collectibles. the ultimate Star Wars game, really. It's amazing. And the combat, the climbing, and the parkour. Sometimes Cal will flip out and do crazy things, but other than that, I think it really does work. 7, we have the open world hubs. A lot of people do not think this game is open world, because open world really is a big area where you can freely roam. However, there's open world, there's hub worlds, and then there is procedurally generated worlds. Procedurally generated would be Minecraft, Lego Worlds, No Man's Sky, that type of thing. Hub worlds would be Lego Jurassic World, Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, the Lego Movie video game, the Lego Movie 2 video game, Lego Marvel's Avengers, Tomb Raider. There's a lot of games that have these smaller but still really dense and really cool open world areas called hubs. This game has those. So it's not open world, but it does have hub worlds. If you were like, oh, I want an open world Star Wars game, well, I'd first direct you to Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. That game has 5 hub worlds and they're amazing. However, this game is just as good, if not better. And that takes a lot for me to say something's better than a Lego game, because those games are fantastic. But this game really is great. Each world is densely populated with collectibles and enemies, and just things to take in. You know, every planet, you're just looking around and you're like, wow, the music is great. Everything, the atmosphere is amazing. The planets in this game are amazing. And once you do complete the campaign, you can go back and re-explore them as many times as you want. And there are these little meditation areas, kind of like Dark Souls, where if you meditate, you can upgrade, you can rest. And when you rest, your stim, your health, your force powers, and of course the enemies respawn, so you never run out of things to do and enemies to fight in these hubs. We have the music. Of course, this is a very small one, but the music is not by John Williams. It is by someone else I don't remember. And it's fantastic. Every time, the action scenes, the ominous music, the heroic music, it's amazing. And that's all I'm going to say about the music. There's not much to say, but it's really well made. 2 more, we have the locations are very varied. Very varied. Like I said before, you go to Dathomir, you go to Zepho, you go to Bogano, any planet, whatever, and it really does feel completely different. It's not a rehash at all. So if you were worried, oh, the hubs, it's not open world, it's hubs, are they going to be really similar and dumb? No, they are very different, with different paths to take. Different, of course, when you upgrade Cal Kestis, you get more abilities to pull things down, and you know there are some areas, as of recording this, I cannot access yet because I don't have the ability, but I will be getting those soon. And again, it really does help the exploration factor in that as well. And then, of course, we have the skill factor and the difficulty. Now, again, you can change the difficulty to 4. If you get pummeled a lot, you can change it to story mode, which is very, very easy. And I had to change it. I will admit, I had to change it to story mode only once when I was fighting the 9th sister, I believe, the big brute one. It kind of talks like this, and you have to fight her in like in Kashyyyk, the burning forest. You've seen it in the trailers probably. She was effing hard, man. She was really difficult, so I had to put that in story mode once. Other than that, I played the entire game on the 2nd difficulty mode, which is called Jedi Knight. I died a few times. I died quite a lot, actually. It is a hard game on Jedi Knight, but I finished through, and it is really fun. So I would say if you want to really just focus on the story, do story mode, of course. If you want a decent challenge without getting super pissed off, do Jedi Knight like me. And, of course, that is my full review on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Of course, no spoilers, obviously. There are some characters that are, especially toward the end, where you're like, holy shit, he's in the game, or something like that. It's going to be really crazy. So if you have played the game, please do not do any spoilers in the comments, just for safety reasons. But again, this is my first game review of Star Wars Month. I love Jedi Fallen Order. It is easily my favorite Star Wars game of all time that is not Lego Star Wars. Just because I'm not just saying Lego Star Wars is my best because I like Lego. I really do think that the Lego Star Wars games are truly the best for many reasons, which I'll get into if you want me to in Star Wars Month. But in terms of non-Lego games, again, I love Battlefront, I love Force Unleashed, but Jedi Fallen Order, man, it is amazing. If you love Star Wars, you need to get this game. If you love action-adventure games with great exploration and collectibles, you need to get this game. If you like the Star Wars canon and can't get enough of what is canon now, with Battlefront 2 and the comics and all that like me, if you want to get the full Star Wars experience, get this game. It is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Again, there are a few visual glitches, like I said, and some lagging performance issues, and Cal can sometimes screw around and do whatever the hell he wants, but I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10. Normally, I would give it like a 7 or an 8 because of all these negatives, but again, the negatives in this game are there, but they're so small that you don't really notice it, like the lag. In Bogano, for instance, the lag only lasts for maybe 1 second, and then it's good. So, it's not too bad, and I would definitely recommend this game. This is I really only played certain amazing games. I played the Lego Movie 2 video game this year. Great game. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Amazing COD, my favorite one. And, of course, Jedi Fallen Order. But I have to say, overall, as much as I love the Lego Movie 2 video game and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Jedi Fallen Order is my favorite game of the year. So, if you really like Star Wars, or if you just like a good video game, please pick it up. Again, there are a few visual things and A few glitches here and there, but nothing too bad on my end. No game-breaking stuff, no freezing. And yeah, I highly recommend Jedi Fallen Order to anyone who likes Star Wars. Thank you very much. I can't talk. I'm just so excited about this game. I can't wait to get into it. And again, remember, when you complete the campaign, you can re-explore the hub worlds. It is like an open world system in that regard. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this review. Again, no spoilers. I love Star Wars Month. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.